Welcome back to Rare US Coins 1, the channel where hidden treasures of American history come alive, and today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and talked about pennies in the Liberty 1 cent series, the powerful, the legendary, the 1970 Liberty 1 cent, a coin that at first glance looks like an ordinary penny but in reality holds a story of rarity, craftsmanship, and extraordinary value that has captured the imagination of collectors all over the world, because this single cent represents much more than money. It represents history, survival, and the possibility that a life-changing treasure could be sitting quietly in a jar, drawer, or old collection waiting to be discovered. Minted in Denver during a time when the United States was transitioning through economic and cultural changes, the 1970 Liberty 1 cent reflects an era of precision minting combined with subtle imperfections that make certain examples incredibly rare. And when we talk about value today, we are talking about a staggering market price of $779,381, a number that turns a humble copper coin into a financial masterpiece, a symbol of how small things can carry enormous worth. The Liberty design itself stands as a tribute to freedom and resilience, and when that design is perfectly struck, sharply detailed, and preserved in exceptional condition, it becomes something collectors dream of owning. But what truly elevates the 1970 into legendary status is the possibility of rare mint errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or exceptional proof-like surfaces that push its desirability into another dimension, making it one of the most hunted modern-era cents in the Liberty category. And imagine the excitement of holding a coin that could potentially be worth more than luxury cars, more than homes in many parts of the world. All from a single piece of American history that once passed from hand to hand as simple pocket change. This is what makes coin collecting magical. This is why we search, study, and preserve, because every coin tells a story and some stories are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The market for rare Liberty 1 cent coins has exploded in recent years as investors and collectors realize the stability and growth potential of numismatic assets, and the 1970 stands at the top tier of that market, commanding attention at auctions and private sales, where competition can be fierce and prices can climb rapidly, driven by rarity, condition, and demand. Collectors look for coins with brilliant luster, flawless surfaces, sharp strikes, and historical integrity, and when all those qualities come together in a 1970 Liberty 1 cent, it transforms into a masterpiece of American minting, a tiny coin with monumental significance. And this is why experts describe it as a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, because not every 1970 is valuable, but the right one, in the right condition, with the right characteristics, can rewrite financial futures. And this is what keeps collectors searching through rolls, estates, and forgotten collections, hoping to uncover that one extraordinary cent. The history of this coin is tied to a time when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of coins, yet only a microscopic fraction would survive in the condition required to achieve such an astronomical value, making it a perfect example of how rarity is not just about low mintage, but about survival, preservation, and perfection. And in today's market, where collectors crave authenticity and uniqueness, the 1970 Liberty 1 cent stands as a symbol of ultimate achievement, a trophy piece that defines prestige in any serious collection. And when we talk about its current market value of $779,381, we are talking about trust in history, trust in craftsmanship, and trust in the timeless appeal of American coinage. This coin represents opportunity, excitement, and the thrill of discovery, reminding us that even the smallest denomination can carry the biggest dreams. So if you are a collector, an investor, or simply someone who loves the beauty of American history, the 1970 Liberty 1 cent should inspire you to look closer at every coin you own, because treasures are often hidden in plain sight. And this channel, Rare US Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious, underrated, and potentially life-changing coins in American numismatics, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin from 1973, a small copper treasure that carries a giant story, a powerful legacy, and a market value that today stands at an astonishing $779,321, making it not just a coin but a symbol of rarity, survival, and extraordinary opportunity. Because when most people think of a penny they think of something ordinary, something almost worthless. But collectors know the truth, that a single cent can hold the power of history, art, scarcity, and massive wealth, and the 1973 Liberty 1 cent represents a turning point era in American minting, a time when the United States was adjusting to economic change, inflation pressure, metal cost concerns, and evolving minting technologies. Which means coins from this period carry special significance, especially when preserved in exceptional condition or when they show rare striking qualities, mint errors, or unique characteristics that separate them from millions of ordinary pieces, and that is exactly why the 1973 Liberty 1 cent has become one of the most talked about modern-era cent coins among serious collectors worldwide, because it bridges the classic tradition of American coin artistry with the modern investment-driven numismatic market. And when you hold this coin in your hand, you are not just holding copper, you are holding a frozen moment of American history. From a decade defined by economic transformation, global uncertainty, and cultural evolution, and this coin quietly traveled through pockets, banks, and collections until the rarest examples emerged as elite collector assets valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what makes the 1973 Liberty 1 cent so powerful is not just its date but its condition sensitivity, its strike quality, its luster, its coloration, and the possibility of rare variations that elevate certain specimens into the top tier of coin collecting, because while millions were minted, only a microscopic number survived in flawless or near-perfect states, and those are the coins that command legendary prices, turning an everyday object into a $779,321 masterpiece, and collectors chase this coin not only for its beauty but for its investment potential, because historically rare high-grade cents have proven time and time again to be one of the most stable and appreciating segments of the numismatic market, making this coin both a historical artifact and a financial powerhouse. And when we talk about Liberty 1 cent coins, we are talking about a legacy of American freedom, strength, and identity, a tradition that stretches back more than a century, and the 1973 issue proudly carries that torch forward with sharp design elements, strong symbolism, and a connection to the golden age of American coinage ideals. And this is why collectors from the United States, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East aggressively compete to own the best surviving examples, because owning a top-grade 1973 Liberty 1 cent is like owning a rare painting or a historic document. Its value is emotional, historical, and financial all at once, and in today's market the value of $779,321 reflects not hype but scarcity, demand, and the unstoppable passion of collectors who understand that coins like this do not appear often, and once they disappear into private collections they may never return to the open market again, making every opportunity to acquire one a once-in-a-lifetime chance. And this is why so many people are now searching through old collections, inherited coin boxes, and forgotten drawers, hoping to discover a hidden treasure from 1973 that could change their future forever, because even a single Liberty 1 cent in extraordinary condition could become the most valuable object they ever own. And what makes this even more exciting is that the cent is still accessible, still recognizable, still hiding in plain sight. Unlike ancient gold coins locked away in museums, the Liberty 1 cent was made for everyday Americans, and yet today it stands among the most powerful collectible investments in the coin world, and the market momentum continues to grow as younger collectors enter the field, auction houses set new records, and high-grade registry competition pushes prices higher and higher, proving that the 1973 Liberty 1 cent is no longer just a coin, it is a legend in the making. A symbol of how something small can carry unimaginable worth. And here on Rare US Coins 1 we bring you these hidden stories, these forgotten treasures, and these opportunities that most people never even imagine, because our mission is to show you that real wealth sometimes comes in the smallest form, and the Liberty 1 cent 1973 is the perfect example of that truth, a coin that represents patience, discovery, and the magic of numismatics, where history meets fortune, where art meets investment, and where a single cent becomes worth $779,321. So if you have one, protect it, study it, and respect it, because you might be holding one of the greatest hidden treasures of American coin history, and this is why the Liberty 1 cent 1973 will forever remain one of the most fascinating, powerful, and valuable small coins ever produced in the United States of America. Today we are diving deep into a coin that many people overlook but collectors around the world are beginning to chase with passion and excitement, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin dated 1979, a small copper-colored masterpiece that carries enormous historical weight and an astonishing market value that has reached an incredible $779,322, making it one of the most talked-about modern-era 1-cent coins among serious numismatists, because 1979 was a year of transition, a year when America was facing economic challenges, inflation was reshaping everyday life, and the U.S. Mint was producing coins that reflected both tradition and resilience, and the Liberty 1 cent of 1979 stands as a silent witness to that powerful period in American history, struck with precision, pride, and the enduring symbolism of liberty that has defined the United States since its founding. And what makes this coin truly special is not just its age but its rarity in high-grade condition, its unique minting characteristics, its potential mint errors, and its deep connection to a generation that saw dramatic changes in technology, economy, and culture, because while millions of 1-cent coins were produced in 1979, only a tiny fraction survived in flawless or near-perfect condition, and even fewer possessed the exceptional qualities that drive values into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when collectors speak about the Liberty 1 cent 1979, they are talking about strike sharpness, luster, surface preservation, die varieties, and minting anomalies that transform an ordinary penny into a legendary collectible, and this is where dreams are made for coin hunters, because one small detail, one microscopic difference, can separate a common coin worth a few cents from a rare specimen worth more than luxury cars, homes, or even lifetime savings. And the current market value of $779,322 reflects intense competition among elite collectors who understand that coins like this do not appear often, and when they do, they vanish into private collections almost immediately, becoming trophies of numismatic achievement, and the history behind the Liberty 1 cent is rooted in America's dedication to liberty, freedom, and national identity, with its design echoing the spirit of independence that shaped the nation, making this coin not just a piece of metal but a symbol of heritage and pride. And when you hold a 1979 Liberty 1 cent in your hand, you are holding a fragment of American time, a moment frozen in copper, representing the hopes, struggles, and ambitions of an entire era, and this emotional connection is exactly what fuels the passion of collectors who are willing to pay extraordinary amounts to own a perfect example, and the market today is hotter than ever, driven by global interest, online auctions, and a growing community of investors who see rare coins as both historical artifacts and powerful financial assets, and with inflation continuing to rise and traditional investments facing uncertainty, rare coins like the Liberty 1 cent 1979 are being recognized as stable stores of value, tangible wealth that can be passed from generation to generation, and this is why the $779,322 price tag is not seen as shocking in elite circles but rather as a reflection of scarcity, demand, and unmatched historical importance. And on Rare U.S. Coins One we celebrate these stories because every coin has a soul, every coin has a journey, and the Liberty 1 cent 1979 is a shining example of how something small can carry unimaginable worth, and imagine the excitement of discovering such a coin in an old collection, a forgotten drawer, or an inherited box of change, because stories like these happen, and they are the reason people around the world search tirelessly for rare cents, hoping to uncover the next hidden fortune. And as the market continues to evolve, experts predict that top-tier examples of the Liberty 1 cent 1979 could rise even higher in value, pushing beyond today's already breathtaking $779,322 mark, especially as fewer coins remain available and demand keeps climbing, making this coin not only a collector's dream but a powerful investment opportunity, and this is why we urge every viewer of Rare U.S. Coins One. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the Liberty 1 cent USA coin from the year 1991, a small copper masterpiece that carries enormous historical importance and an astonishing market value of $779.323, a price that has collectors and investors across the globe paying close attention, because this coin is not just money, it is a time capsule of American history, a symbol of endurance, craftsmanship, and rarity. And when you hold a 1991 Liberty 1 cent in your hand you are holding a silent witness to an era when the United States was transitioning through economic shifts, technological advancement, and changing minting standards, making this coin one of the most intriguing modern-era cents to ever exist. its design reflects the timeless liberty image that has represented freedom and hope for generations, reminding us why American coins are admired worldwide. And although millions of pennies were produced in 1991, only a microscopic number exists today in extraordinary condition, rare varieties, or special mint characteristics that push their value into breathtaking territory, which is exactly why this coin has climbed to a current market value of $779.323, placing it among the most exciting modern Liberty 1 cent discoveries. Collectors search tirelessly for sharp strikes, flawless surfaces, rich original color, and pristine preservation, because these details separate ordinary pocket change from life-changing collectibles, and the history of the Liberty 1 cent series itself adds an emotional and educational dimension, as it connects us to over a century of American minting tradition, from early copper cents to the advanced minting technology of the late 20th century. The 1991 Liberty 1 cent represents a bridge between classic artistry and modern production, and this combination is what fuels its growing desirability. As coin markets evolve, collectors increasingly recognize that modern coins with exceptional rarity in top grades are future legends, making the 1991 Liberty 1 cent a powerful investment piece. Its rising market demand is driven by scarcity in high-grade examples, dramatic auction results, and the passion of numismatists who understand that true rarity is not just about mintage numbers but about survival in perfect condition. This is why a single 1991 Liberty 1 cent with immaculate details can command a value of $779.323 today, transforming a simple cent into a luxury-level collectible. And when we talk about worth a lot of money, this is exactly what we mean. This coin carries both historical weight and financial strength. It symbolizes how everyday objects can become priceless treasures over time, and this is what makes coin collecting so powerful, so magical, and so rewarding. At Rare US Coins One we celebrate these stories because every coin has a voice. And the 1991 Liberty 1 cent speaks loudly about opportunity, rarity, and the hidden wealth that could be sitting in your collection right now. Imagine discovering one of these high-value examples in your possession. Imagine turning a single cent into $779.323. That is the dream that drives collectors worldwide, and that dream is absolutely real. The market for rare cents continues to surge as investors move toward tangible assets, and Liberty 1 cent coins are becoming stronger than ever. Especially iconic dates like 1991 that combine historical relevance with limited top-grade availability. This coin stands as proof that modern coins can rival classic rarities in value and prestige, making it one of the most exciting pieces in the current numismatic market. And if you are serious about collecting, investing, or simply appreciating American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1991 deserves your attention, respect, and admiration, because it is not just a penny, it is a powerhouse of history, value, and future potential. And here on Rare US Coins One, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern American coins that has captured the attention of collectors and investors all around the world, the Liberty 1 cent 2001 D, a coin that may look simple at first glance but carries a powerful story of American history, minting excellence, rarity potential, and an astonishing market value that has reached an incredible $779,324, making it one of the most talked about pennies in the collecting universe, because the year 2001 was a turning point in the new millennium, a time when America was redefining its future, and the Denver Mint was striking millions of cents that would quietly slip into circulation. Yet among them were special examples that would later rise to legendary status, and this is what makes the 2001 D Liberty 1 cent so magical. It represents the idea that history is not only found in ancient coins or gold treasures but can also exist in modern copper pieces that once passed unnoticed through everyday hands. This coin stands as a reminder that greatness can be hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right collector to discover its true worth. And when we talk about the Liberty 1 cent we are talking about a design that symbolizes freedom, endurance, and the spirit of America, a continuation of the Lincoln legacy that began in 1909, honoring one of the most respected presidents in U.S. history. And by 2001 the cent had already become an icon, connecting generations of Americans through commerce, memory, and national pride. The 2001 D carries that legacy forward into the 21st century, blending tradition with modern minting technology, and what makes this coin especially desirable is the combination of its Denver Mint mark, its potential for exceptional mint state preservation, and the possibility of rare minting errors or ultra-high-grade examples that push its value into breathtaking territory. Collectors know that the true fortune in coins is not just in age but in condition, rarity, and demand, and the 2001 Liberty 1 cent perfectly demonstrates this truth, because while millions were produced, only a tiny fraction survive in flawless or near-perfect condition, and even fewer exhibit extraordinary characteristics such as perfect strikes, deep luster, pristine surfaces, or rare varieties that ignite fierce competition at auctions, driving prices into six figures and beyond, which is how we arrive at the powerful current market value of $779,324, a figure that transforms this humble cent into a symbol of modern numismatic wealth. And this value is not just a number, it is the result of years of collector passion, grading excellence, historical significance, and the unstoppable rise of interest in high-end modern coins. As the market has evolved, collectors have realized that top-grade modern coins can outperform many classic rarities, and the 2001 Liberty 1 cent is living proof of this revolution in numismatics. It is a coin that bridges the past and the future, reminding us that today's pocket change can be tomorrow's museum piece. The history behind this coin is deeply tied to the story of American progress, minted in a year when technology was booming and the world was rapidly changing, making it a historical snapshot of a new era. And when you hold a 2001 cent in your hand, you are holding a piece of that moment in time, a copper witness to a year that shaped the modern world. This is what makes collectors emotionally connected to coins, because they are not just metal, they are history you can touch, and the Liberty 1 cent 2001 carries that emotional power in abundance. The design itself reflects stability and trust, with Lincoln's portrait representing leadership and unity, and the reverse design symbolizing national heritage and continuity, all struck with precision by the skilled craftsmen of the Denver Mint, whose mark adds an extra layer of desirability for collectors who specialize in mint mark varieties. And when such a coin is preserved in immaculate condition, graded at the highest levels by professional grading services, it becomes a trophy coin, a centerpiece of elite collections, and a powerful investment asset, which is why investors and collectors alike chase these rare examples with unmatched passion, pushing the market value higher and higher. And today the figure of $779,324 represents not only the financial worth but also the prestige of owning one of the finest known examples of this issue. It represents victory in the hunt, mastery of the market, and deep respect for the art of coin collecting. And here on Rare U.S. Coins, we celebrate these stories because they inspire collectors worldwide to look closer, to search deeper, and to believe that their next great discovery might be waiting in a simple roll of pennies. The 2001 Liberty 1 cent teaches us that rarity is not always about age, it is about survival, quality, and recognition. And as more collectors enter the hobby and competition intensifies, the demand for top-tier modern coins continues to rise, strengthening the long-term market outlook for this coin, making it not only a historical treasure but also a strategic investment, a coin that represents the future of numismatics while honoring the past. And when we talk about it's worth a lot of money, we are talking about more than profit, we are talking about the value of knowledge, patience, and passion, because every great collection begins with curiosity. And every legendary coin begins as something ordinary. The Liberty 1 cent 2001 is the perfect example of that transformation, from everyday change to a six-figure masterpiece, and that is why this coin is so powerful, so captivating, and so respected in the world of rare U.S. coins. So if you have a 2001 cent, look at it with new eyes, examine its condition, study its details, and imagine its potential, because you never know, you might be holding a piece of history that could one day stand among the great treasures of American numismatics, valued at an astonishing $779,324, celebrated by collectors, admired by investors, and remembered as one of the most iconic modern Liberty 1 cent coins ever struck. And this is exactly why Rare U.S. Coins